Alright guys, this is Ace, and this is FAQ video 1 of, I don't know how many there's going to be, because I've been asked quite a few questions, but I'm going to try and answer them in due course. So, in this video, one of my most frequently asked questions: how do I record games? How do I record games with voice? And etc, etc, etc. So, first things first, how to actually record games. Well, it depends what you're actually recording. For instance, you have... I personally use one of 3 programs. Fraps, for whatever supports it. Guncam, when something does support Fraps. And Quick Screen Recorder for this video. I used to use this a lot until I moved on to Guncam, until I moved on to Fraps, etc. So, yeah. That's what I used to record it. Quite simple. And Fraps. Start with Fraps, it's easier. It's easy. It's pretty much set itself up. So Fraps then. Known things this will record, such as it should actually record most modern games without fail. It also records, say, where is it now? Where am I moving to? Kega Fusion. It will also record Kega Fusion. If you see that little number at the top when you open a program, Fraps should, the keyword is should, record it. Doesn't always work. Most notable example is Visual Boy Advance. Yeah, Fraps is basically you press record, it should just record it. From my experience, it basically just set itself up to record the sound in the video. If you choose to do so, you can actually select somewhat, but that should just work. Simple as that with Fraps. Yes, I know. Right, Guncam, on the other hand, takes a little bit more setting up. Let's say go with the Ultra. Now, Fraps doesn't record FC Ultra, so I have to use Guncam for this. Oops, helps to click the right thing. And as for Guncam, you basically just go to Capture Setup, select the screen, frames per second, choose what button you want to start recording with. Sound setup is you select whatever records sound. I'll get to sound in a minute. And you just record and hope it works. See, it's just recorded that. Give me 1 second. Now, I apologise in advance for having to cut the video several times, but I'm using Quick Screen Recorder to do this, and it has a time limit, basically. If you record for too long, it will just go sod you and crashes, losing your video. I found this out so many times while recording boss runs back when I started the YouTube account, which is primarily why I went on to Guncam. So this is really the last option, and there's a lot of setting up to do, but I don't. It's okay for video tutorials and all that, but not for games, which I assume is what most people want me to do explain. So, where to begin? Sound. How do you record game sound? Well, basically, if you can see stereo mix, you should be able to record game sound. You should obviously be able to record your microphone and front mic, whatever. My actual sound card just records everything, unless you mute it. But if you don't have that option, you want to select stereo mix, as opposed to your microphone. I'll explain that in a second. You can also go to properties and tick the individual ones if they don't appear first time. It's how to actually record voice and game sound. Right, this is what you do. You probably have these two muted. probably have those two muted. I have no idea if that was just muted my own sound whilst recording, so I'm just saying it twice. You want to unmute them and set them high, and basically you want to mess around the output controls. You also want to go to advanced controls and put microphone boost on, because it's too quiet otherwise. And finally you want to set that around there. You also want master volume about halfway. So this should hopefully record both your game sound and your microphone voice, and the final result should not hopefully deafen the viewers. If it's set up to here, the quality is unusable, pretty much. But that's about XP. I'll have to do a separate video for Vista because it decides to go. Bleh. Actually, I could just try that now. See if it. For Vista, you have no choice but to use Audacity to do this. With Vista, you actually can select from any recording, such as microphone, stereo mix, etc. But you can't do them all at once, which XP can. So basically, you'd want to select microphone, and then you want to do play software playback. That's it. So while you're recording, doesn't work on XP whatsoever. But on Vista you should be fine, but it doesn't work on XP. So that's what you have to do to record game sound on Vista. One slight problem: you are going to hear yourself while you're talking. That is very disorientating. Right. Hopefully that should help. Hopefully I might go over a few things again. Now, to hopefully save myself some questions, I'm going to go to Firefox. And this is, for instance, where you need to get to Audacity from. It's free, so you don't have to pay for it. Fraps, Growler Guncam, and Quick Screen Recorder are all programs you have to pay for. So, you know, you can just type them into Google and find them, and you're supposed to pay for them, but I'm sure there's keys out there. I'm not going to give them to you for obvious reasons, but I'm sure you can find the keys yourself if you don't want to pay for them. I did. Bully people's hard work shouldn't go unrewarded. And to be fair, Fraps and Guncam are two great programs. Guncam can throw a few hissy fits sometimes, but generally it's a nice program. It works with a lot of things that Fraps doesn't, and vice versa. Now, one of the problems with Guncam is Vista does not really support it, period. So I'm going to have to do a bit more research on video recording software and find something that Vista actually supports. I'm assuming Hypercam is one of them. So don't actually go out and buy or download or whatever Guncam if you're on Vista, because it will not work. Sucks, I know. Do I use emulators? Yes, I do, because I currently do not have the hardware to record off the TV and consoles, because I don't have the money to pay for them yet. Simple as that. I'm not exactly rich, you know. So, what emulators do I use? Well, okay, Mega Drive. I use King of Fusion because Fraps records it, and it records brilliantly, plays brilliantly, and etc. SNES, Z-SNES, because it has a better sound quality than SNES X9. Doesn't support Fraps, so I have to use Guncam for that. FC Ultra for NES games, Guncam again. Visual Boy Advance for Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games, I have to use Guncam for that, as you probably saw in my Mega Man 2 Game Boy video. The sound just goes all over the place. If you use Fraps with it, and it does technically support it. Right, Arcade, Main, Plus Plus, you can probably search for that on the internet. Coax for Capcom arcade games, because it runs better for those, but doesn't support the games that MAME does. And no one's asked this, but ZXSpin for Spectrum games, and here's another popular question asked: WinX WinX 68K high speed, and it's automatically loaded Gradius for some reason. A bit weird. So those are the emulators I use. I need to do a bit more experimentation with DOS games to see what records well and what doesn't. I use Defend Reloaded to actually play DOS games. Guncam does record them. Doesn't always record them very well, but does record them. And you can actually export videos from Defend Reloaded itself, so there's always that option.